None of that Illuminati. We ain't know none of that. Oh, little baby.
A little bit. There's a new video. I don't know if it's.
They was on the jet.
They was on the jet, and old boy was like, "Oh, there's gonna be some more drunk hugs." Little baby, he had the cover on it. Little baby's going viral right now. Have you seen those pictures of him getting hugged up and manipulated? They say they was taking advantage of him at the Illuminati party. A gangster.
The whispers began on social media that had some legendary rappers mock him. Was Lil Baby paying a spiritual price for stardom? It began with a blistering social media call-out, Kodak Black, on April 10th, 2024, publicly mocking Lil Baby, an NBA youngboy, for wearing nail polish. In late 2025, posts started circulating accusing Atlanta chart topper Lil Baby of selling his soul to skyrocket his fame and even questioning his sexuality in the process.
But a picture with a man being sandwiched in between two other men with their actual body parts connected to your body, you take it for what you want to take it for.
From conspiracy-laced TikToks to fiery diss-laced Instagram captions, the narrative spread like wildfire. Today, we delve deep, not to confirm rumors, but to trace how these theories emerged, who amplified them, and why the internet devours such dark folklore with fervor. In April 2024, during a live stream, Kodak Black directly called out Lil Baby over wearing nail polish, labeling the look as part of that Illuminati paint your nails shit. His remarks, reported by outlets like All Hip Hop and Hip Hop DX, were pointed and unapologetic, sparking immediate discussion across social media.
None of that Illuminati. We ain't know none of that. Oh, little baby.
The target? A detail some might call minor, but Kodak made sure it landed like a heavyweight punch. Lil Baby's fashion choices specifically, his decision to wear nail polish. In everyday life, nail polish might just be a style preference, but in hip-hop's coded language, where appearance has long been intertwined with street credibility, this was loaded. In Kodak's delivery, soft wasn't just a harmless descriptor. It was a judgment on authenticity, masculinity, and how a rapper chooses to present himself to the culture. Within minutes, fans clipped the livestream and blasted it across social platforms. Instagram Reels, TikTok duets, and YouTube reaction videos picked apart his tone frame by frame. Comment sections became digital battlegrounds. Supporters laughed, brushing it off as Kodak being Kodak, uncensored and unpredictable. Critics saw it as unnecessary disrespect, especially in a climate where style experimentation was more visible than ever in rap. And in between those extremes, a third group debated what it meant for hip-hop's unwritten codes of masculinity. The timing made the blow even sharper. Just 2 weeks before, Lil Baby had already been dealing with rumors about wearing nail polish. He'd taken to his Instagram story to firmly deny it, saying blogs and YouTube commentators were twisting images for clout. By the time Kodak's rant hit the feeds, it wasn't just an opinion, it was gasoline poured on an already smoldering fire. Hip-hop outlets like XXL, Uproxx, and All Hip Hop documented the drama in real time, with All Hip Hop also noting that Kodak dragged NBA Youngboy into the same criticism, triggering Youngboy to post a trolling video flaunting his own painted nails in response. It was no longer a simple fashion critique. Kodak had issued a culture check, a public test of authenticity in a genre where such challenges rarely go unanswered. And now, the rap world was watching closely to see whether Lil Baby would ignore it, clap back lyrically, or take the smoke offline. A few days after Kodak's Instagram rant, the digital underground ignited over a single image. In it, Lil Baby was seen mingling at an opulent after-party hosted by Sean Diddy Combs during Coachella weekend. The backdrop was unmistakable, soft ambient lighting, luxury decor, and a guest list that screamed exclusivity. To some, it was just a rapper enjoying his success. To others, it was a symbol, the street-to-globe-trotting transformation captured in one frame. The image, posted by Daily Loud on Instagram and later amplified on X/Twitter, sent ripples through hip-hop social media. Fans zoomed in on the details: designer shades, expensive champagne bottles, and the casual ease between Lil Baby and Diddy. That ease became the conversation. How some commenters asked. Had Lil Baby vaulted from hustling on the corner to partying with moguls so suddenly? Critics leaned in, dusting off one of hip-hop's most persistent tropes, the theory of hidden forces guiding an artist's rapid rise. In threads under the Daily Loud post, comments ranged from sly jokes to flat-out accusations. With one image, the narrative shifts from self-made legend to presumed puppet. You know what this means. Illuminati Brunch Part 2. Some theories even took a darker tone, questioning whether Lil Baby had sacrificed not just his integrity, but his soul for this level of access. Whether meant in jest or earnest, the photo became more than an after-party snapshot. It was coded language. In hip-hop lore, such images often serve as visual cues for larger, unspoken narratives. Overnight, the still image morphed into a cultural Rorschach test, interpreted, debated, and reshaped into whatever story the viewer wanted to tell. And just like that, Lil Baby's presence at Coachella was no longer about music. It was about meaning. 50 Cent has never been one for subtlety, especially when money, reputation, and cultural weight collide. He reacted to a photo of Lil Baby at Michael Rubin's party, sparking commentary on the rapper's appearance and hinting at deeper issues post-event, which he likened to a Diddy party. The photo, which circulated online, showed Lil Baby with Michael Rubin and others on a yacht. 50 Cent's reaction, particularly his comment, "Something big changed post-event," has fueled speculation about the nature of the change and what transpired at the party.
The white party would be there, and then they have Lil Baby like in a sandwich. Like they're hugging him from the front and the back and stuff. And I'm like, yo, get off of him. That's one of my favorite new artists.
In April 2024, he zoomed in on Lil Baby's bombshell admission, losing around $8 million in a single day to gambling.
What's the most you ever lost gambling at once?
$8 million.
Okay.
1 day.
How long?
Like 1 day. Like probably like 40 hours.
Yeah.
40 hours straight. I lost like $8 million.
That's not
9 million.
That's not one.
The figure alone was staggering, but the context made it cut deeper. In a genre that lauds turning street hustle into financial self-reliance, here was a star confessing to a loss that could level a block. 50 Cent didn't hold back. He posted the clip from the interview on Instagram, bluntly labeling the revelation crazy, his caption dripping with a mix of disbelief and what felt like Big Brother disappointment. Outlets like People noted his bluntness, and Hip Hop DX framed it as a cultural wake-up call. 50's reaction wasn't just shade, it was a public check. For him, realness isn't only about where you came from, it's about how you manage your rise. Losing $8 million in a day? That, to him, defied strategy. Meanwhile, down in Houston, Southern rap royalty Slim Thug offered a different critique altogether. In a YouTube reaction, he pulled up viral images of Lil Baby and Young Jock rocking headline-grabbing outfits, high-fashion tailoring for one, flamboyant meme bait for the other. His takeaway? These looks felt more like internet bait than street resonance. Slim's point was clear. Image matters, but only if it still carries the grit the streets respect. Even in style, authenticity is earned, not curated. Together, these voices, 50 Cent's account-led caution and Slim Thug's street-rooted critique, didn't just skewer outfits or habits. They ignited a broader, age-old debate in hip-hop. What's authentic? For 50 Cent, it's about smart moves and accountability. For Slim, it's about cultural resonance that respects the streets. And with Boosie's perspective added in, this chapter could become a full-blown generational standoff over hip-hop's evolving image. In the days following Lil Baby's public missteps, TikTok detonated with provocateurs, baiting users with sensational headlines. Lil Baby sold his soul. And Why is Lil Baby gay? Titles designed not for clarity, but for virality and shock value. These videos leaned heavily on clickbait framing, speculative voiceovers, and dramatic visuals crafted to spark chatter, not convey nuance. Meanwhile, Reddit became a tug-of-war arena. Over on r/rap, a user pushed back against the conspiratorial spin with a mix of sarcasm and genuine confusion, writing, "What do you mean selling your soul? Is this some kind of wacky religious conspiracy horsepiss? Or is this a metaphorical selling of the..." Other threads followed similar trajectories. Some users dismissed the trope outright, calling it modern-day folklore. Others leaned into it, treating the sold his soul angle as a shorthand for a rise that seemed too meteoric to explain otherwise. TikTok and Reddit didn't just discuss Lil Baby, they refracted his story. The exaggeration became part of the narrative. TikTok's sensationalism thrived on ambiguity. Reddit's forums layered that ambiguity with skepticism, irony, and sometimes real cynicism. What began as a bewildering image or wild headline turned into a cultural research, each platform offering its own reflection of truth, myth, and speculation. Before the whispers and the viral accusations, there was Dominique Armani Jones, a kid from the Oakland City neighborhood of Atlanta who had no plans of being a rapper. Born on December 3, 1994, Lil Baby grew up in a single-parent household after his father left when he was just 2 years old. His early years were shaped by the reality of street life in Southwest Atlanta, where hustling often seemed like the only viable route to survival. In 2014, at just 19, Lil Baby was sentenced to 2 years in prison on charges including possession with intent to sell.
I already was the man of the house.
Right.
So when I went to prison from doing what I wanted to do, driving the cars I wanted to drive, I had 2-3 condos.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? 6 figures. Like, so it was a whole different feeling.
How old was you?
18.
That stint became a turning point. Upon release in 2016, friends and mentors in Atlanta's rap scene, particularly Young Thug and Quality Control's Coach K and P, urged him to channel his hustle into music rather than the streets. By April 2017, Lil Baby dropped his debut mixtape, Perfect Timing, a project that established him as QC's next breakout. Within a year, he followed up with Harder Than Ever, 2018, home to Yes Indeed with Drake, which peaked at number 1, 6 on the Billboard Hot 100. His momentum exploded with the collaborative hit Drip Too Hard alongside Gunna, earning a Grammy nomination and quadruple platinum certification, RIAA. But it was My Turn, 2020, that cemented his status, debuting at number 1 on the Billboard 200, becoming the most consumed album of that year, and spawning hits like We Paid and Emotionally Scarred. Lil Baby also used his platform for activism, releasing The Bigger Picture in response to the George Floyd protests. The track debuted at number 1, 3 on the Billboard Hot 100, and earned 2 Grammy nominations. From a prison cell to international tours, Lil Baby's journey was a testament to reinvention, a rise built on mentorship, relentless output, and a keen sense for collaboration, not some mysterious overnight miracle. It's time to ground the story in facts. The record shows that Lil Baby's climb was neither sudden nor supernatural, it was earned. Emerging from a 2016 prison sentence, he returned to Atlanta's streets with a different focus. Just a year later, in April 2017, he dropped his breakout mixtape Perfect Timing, a collaboration with Quality Control that featured guest appearances from Young Thug and Lil Yachty. This marked the first step in a calculated artistic ascent. The momentum built steadily. In February 2020, he released his second studio album, My Turn, which debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200, and went on to become the most consumed album of 2020 in the United States. By 2022, the album had been certified quadruple platinum by the RIAA. Within My Turn was The Bigger Picture, a socially conscious anthem responding to the George Floyd protests. The track debuted at number 1, 3 on the Billboard Hot 100, and earned 2 Grammy nominations. The 2022 documentary Untrapped, the story of Lil Baby, offered the most intimate portrait yet. Premiering at the Tribeca Film Festival, It stitched together never-before-seen childhood footage, behind-the-scenes moments in the studio, and candid interviews. The film charts his reluctant but decisive pivot from street hustler to global star, showing how mentors like Young Thug, Gunna, and Drake, along with the business guidance of Quality Control's Pierre P. Thomas and Kevin Coach K. Lee, shaped his career. Across its runtime, Untrapped dismantles the idea of occult shortcuts. It portrays a man who entered music almost reluctantly, propelled not by hidden forces, but by mentorship, opportunity, and relentless work. And here's the bottom line. There is no verified evidence, no recordings, credible eyewitness accounts, or documentation to support any conspiracy theory about selling his soul. What we do have are rumors, viral photos, and speculative videos, stories built on whispers, not proof. The facts tell a different story, one of steady grind, strategic alliances, and a talent sharpened by discipline rather than deals with the unseen. For decades, hip-hop's version of masculinity has hinged on toughness, aggression, and a lived authenticity, words backed by action, not just swagger. Even the slightest deviation, something like painted nails, can strike as a symbolic betrayal of that credibility. Yet today's generation pushes back. Artists now view fashion not just as decoration, but as expression, an identity in motion. As the documentary, The Remix Hip Hop X Fashion illuminates, hip-hop style is deeply interwoven with race, gender, and class. It showcases a lineage of Black visionaries, designers like Misa Hilton and April Walker, who used fashion to defy, reframe, and reclaim identity in a culture that often masked ambition behind stereotypes. Rolling further back, the Fresh Dressed documentary traces how fashion became a language of resistance. In the Bronx of the 1970s, amid poverty and systemic neglect, gangs customized attire into aggressive street armor, an outward shout of defiance and identity. This modern tension isn't about colors, it's about what they symbolize. Kodak Black's assault on Lil Baby's manicure wasn't a style critique, it was a challenge to legitimacy. In rap's code, being labeled soft or punk can be as damaging as missing a verse. It can erase credibility overnight. That leads to speculation. Did access come by ambition or by exchange? Was it earned on the grind or traded for backstage doors? Rumors of occult shortcuts flourish in this space between fashion and realness, where image shifts from adornment to accusation. Fashion in hip-hop has always carried weight. It's never been just fabric. It's cultural syntax, history, and sometimes a line drawn between who belongs and who betrays the code. The rise of Lil Baby has not only been a music industry story, it's become a case study in how digital rumor economies operate. In the streaming era, fame is currency, but so are the controversies and conspiracies orbiting it. Platforms like TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and even X, formerly Twitter, have turned unverified claims into micro-industries, generating clicks, ad revenue, and engagement for creators who know how to package intrigue. For Lil Baby, that meant that as his profile grew, so did a parallel shadow narrative, one that had less to do with his bars and more to do with speculation about how he reached the top. In the late 2000s and 10s, his music began charting, and his collaborations with Drake, Gunna, and Young Thug became unavoidable in the culture. But alongside the accolades came a steady hum of conspiracy-laced content. The "sold his soul" trope was dusted off and reapplied, as if the success of any young Black artist in hip-hop still needed to be explained by something other than skill, strategy, and opportunity. The algorithm favored it. Videos titled with phrases like "Lil Baby's Dark Industry Secrets" or "How Lil Baby Really Got Famous" began appearing in recommended feeds, with thumbnails showing ominous lighting, red eyes, or altered images designed to evoke suspicion. They were made not by journalists or insiders, but by creators chasing views, where the truth was secondary to the hook. Economically, it made sense. A clip alleging occult connections or industry blood sacrifices could rack up hundreds of thousands of views in days, especially if timed around a major event like an award show, a chart milestone, or a viral fashion choice. Those views translated into monetization, TikTok creator fund payouts, YouTube ad splits, or even boosted traffic to other platforms. In a twisted way, Lil Baby's name became not just a brand for music, but a keyword for content mills and conspiracy channels.
Like that, when they see you hug, when Michael Rubin hugging you, you think that
Michael Rubin
has an impact?
Michael Rubin was never hugging me. You know what I'm saying? I was dapping Kuzman up, and Mike happy to see me. He ran over there and we started like wrestling.
And the economy thrived on repetition. A rumor didn't need to be proven. It just needed to be reframed. One day, it was his choice of collaborators. Next, it was a manicure caught in a photo. Then, a lyric interpreted through a symbolic lens. Each iteration gave the algorithm a new excuse to push the narrative to audiences who had seen it before, or were just curious enough to click. This wasn't journalism. It was speculation as a service, and Lil Baby was both the unwilling subject and the fuel. What made the ecosystem more potent was the way fans participated. Some debunked the claims, others fanned the flames, but both were engaging. The more debates unfolded in comment sections, the more platforms detected interest and promoted the content further. In effect, even defending Lil Baby from the accusations still fed the machine that spread them. Social media thrives on polarity. Neutrality is invisible. There was also a generational element. Older hip-hop audiences who remembered the gatekeeping of the 1990s and early 2000s often viewed Lil Baby's rapid ascent with suspicion, sometimes framing it as symptomatic of a watered-down era. Younger fans, raised in the viral economy, saw the conspiracies themselves as part of the entertainment package, memes to be remixed, trends to be joined. For them, the rumors didn't need to be believed to be worth sharing. The act of sharing was the point. By the time mainstream interviews began addressing the chatter directly, the rumor economy had already done its work. Even Lil Baby's denials or simply ignoring the claims became part of the narrative. Silence was interpreted as mystery. Mystery was monetizable. It didn't matter that no evidence ever surfaced to support the "sold his soul" claims. The lack of evidence was spun into its own intrigue. In this way, Lil Baby's story isn't just about an artist navigating fame. It's about a digital ecosystem where attention is currency and truth is negotiable. In the rumor economy, the real product isn't music, or even the rumor itself. It's engagement. And as long as his name can draw clicks, the machine will keep running, with or without his participation.